Hi, and welcome aboard Gemiums vs. Zombies. Today we travel to 1679 in order to face the pirate seas in all its rotten glory. Piracy is at a peak, so we be bringing all me gemium plants to the era, plants that were bought with plundered gems. Tell not the EA Empire, yar, I want not a bounty on me head. If you're wondering what be this challenge, I invite ye to take a gander at me previous video. It grants ye a full-fledged rundown of yon challenge. If ye haven't any time to waste, however, I be willing to give ye the basics now, albeit in an American accent rather than this clever tongue. I'm only allowed to use gemium plants. No power-ups, level-ups, buying plant food, or using the Zen garden. Skipping levels where all or some of my plants are pre-picked is allowed, including conveyor belt levels. I'm not allowed to interact with pre-planted plants. I get to place one sunflower on produce X sun levels. And lastly, I can modify rules mid-challenge. Before we get going, just a quick reminder that your feedback and support is very helpful, and I read every comment. Be sure to give your 2 cents. Now let's set sail. The gimmick of Pirate Seas is having planks that connect the 2 ships together. This leaves gaps in the lawn and forces zombies to usually group up closer together. For some strategies, this can be a bad thing, but for this challenge, having zombies grouped together in fewer lanes is usually much better for us. This is because every single gemium plant, except for Peanut and Hypnoshroom, have some form of splash damage/area control, or rather, they can affect any number of zombies all at once. So of course, naturally, we go back to our usual strategy of using electric currents and sweet potatoes, along with saplings to slow zombies down, at least in the early levels. I do find that I want to find some new strategies to use later in this world, but for now we'll go with what's reliable. Level 1 is very easy, and we'll just move on to level 2. If you've seen my leafy greens vs. zombies challenge videos, you'll know that seagull zombies tend to pose a bigger threat than swashbuckler zombies. This is still somewhat true for this challenge, but less so, because seagull zombies are still affected by sweet potato. Although they have a much faster movement speed, a little bit higher health, and they eat a little bit faster, they aren't too much of a problem because they still group up next to our sweet potatoes, and once they hit those electric fields, they just become fried wings. Day 3 is almost the exact same level as day 1. It has a slightly higher zombie density, but overall there's nothing really different. We still have the same layout of 4 planks, 2 at the top and 2 at the bottom, and I use the same strategy of electric currents, sweet potatoes, and saplings, and everything goes swimmingly. And so we will just move on to day 4. Day 4 introduces us to the Pirate Seas Buckethead zombie. These zombies are a little bit annoying because they have such high health that they're able to chew into my sweet potatoes just a little bit. But frankly, there are so many instant kills in the Gemiums class that Bucketheads are fairly harmless overall. Day 4 shows us little to no trouble, and we'll just move right on to day 5. Day 5 combos us with both swashbuckler zombies and seagull zombies, as well as keeping Bucketheads in the mix. This level overall isn't too hard just because there are only 2 lanes. This makes it very easy for me to use plant food on my fire pea shooters, or to use something like a ghost pepper or lava guava to clear both lanes fairly easily. Of course, swashbucklers and seagull zombies have very low health, so they die pretty easily to my electric current and sweet potato setup. Now on to day 6. Day 6 is like literally the exact same level as day 5. It's really weird they have these 2 levels, one right after another. The only difference I can really see is there's less seagull zombies at the end of day 5 than there are at the end of day 6. So now we'll move on to day 7. Day 7 finally introduces something new. Now we get to learn about barrel roller zombies. Barrel roller zombies are very annoying because they almost instant kill my sweet potatoes, and they also aren't affected by sweet potatoes pull. The other problem is that when they doze through my sweet potatoes, they then continue to walk further forward, and eventually they do die to the electric current. However, their barrel remains further back, and it explodes into imps past my electric current field. This means that we have to find ways to kill them beforehand. Generally, I will be using instant kills, such as squash, jalapeno, ghost pepper, or lava guava. Hurricane can also push the barrel out of the barrel roller zombies' hands. In this level, I also like to explore ghost pepper a little bit. It isn't a plant that I've ever really used much, but man is it good on these worlds. Using its plant food can cover all 3 lanes that the zombies are able to walk down. It does a 3x4 area, and can almost instant kill a Buckethead. This is very useful for clearing the last wave when all the zombies are grouped up in the same spot, and I can just drop a ghost pepper and then play plant food on it, and that brings the level to a close. Day 8 is a conveyor belt level that I pretty much just speed run through because I'm not very interested in trying any challenges with this level. It's just a gargantua level, so we'll move on to day 9. Day 9 is among the easier levels because of course it only has 2 lanes for the zombies to walk down. So of course I'm going to use my comfortable strategy of electric current, sweet potato, sapling, and ghost pepper. The ghost pepper, like I mentioned, is very good at clearing out that final wave. And now we will move on to day 10. Day 10 really throws everything it's got at us. It introduces us to the imp cannon, and it keeps barrel rollers, swashbucklers, and seagull zombies in the mix. Imp cannons aren't really too much of a problem because even though we aren't very easily able to take them out by themselves, once they explode, all the imps land within range of my electric current and they die fairly quickly. And so really we just have to worry about the barrel roller zombies. Of course this level isn't too awfully hard, and we will move on to day 11. Day 11 is almost an exact replica of day 10. The plank moved a little bit, but other than that, it's not too difficult of a level. Now I would say we're going to move on to day 12, but day 12 is the coconut cannon level. So I'm going to show a short clip of me completing that level, and then we will skip to day 13. Day 13 is our first interesting challenge. Pirate Seas loves its produced sun levels, and as I mentioned earlier, we get to use 1 sunflower. Now for this challenge, I really want to make it challenging, so I'm not allowed to actually pick up the sun dropped by the sunflowers. If I pick up a sun, then I have to restart the level. This 1 sunflower will take a very long time to produce 2,000 sun, and it's a long time of avoiding my instinct of grabbing sun produced by sunflowers. Honestly, that is the hardest part of this world, is trying not to pick up sun produced by my sunflower. On my first attempt of day 13, I wasn't paying attention and I didn't realize that it was a produced sun level, so I had to restart. And on my 4th attempt, I was trying to make things easier for myself, but instead I ended up killing the zombies and I failed the level because I hadn't met the sun quota. On my 6th attempt of the day, we finally locked a pirate captain zombie into an eternity of eating sweet potatoes. Also, I forgot to mention the pirate captain zombie. Fortunately, a plant-footed electric current is able to take out a parrot without getting taken away. This is very important because it actually protects our entire front line, which is where the parrot always goes for. This means that pirate captain zombie is barely anything more than a brown coat. Anyways, after lots and lots of stalling and waiting and waiting and waiting and more waiting, we finally beat the level, collecting our 2,000 sun and killing the pirate captain zombie. We can finally move on to day 14. Day 14 is the last stand level, and this level has barrel roller zombies, which got me a little bit concerned. So I decided I wanted to try something different. I thought that maybe using Kiwi Beast would be able to attack and kill barrel roller zombies before their barrel is able to roll over the Kiwi Beasts. Unfortunately, this wasn't the case, and my Kiwi Beasts died too early. This had me a little bit concerned because I knew that sweet potatoes by themselves wouldn't be good enough to stop barrel rollers. However, I tried the level a second time, and my fire pea shooters were able to make pretty good work of barrel roller zombies. I was also able to use some instant kills because my setup is so cheap. This made the level fairly easy, and so now we can move on to day 15. Day 15 is a fairly uninteresting don't let the zombies trample the flowers level. It does give us a 3-peater to start, which I actually considered digging up for a little while because I kind of wanted the sun back, as well as the 3-peater dealing damage to the early wave zombies would mean the game is sped up a little bit. This is something that I usually can't afford. However, I kept it around because it really wasn't all that much in the way, and we were able to beat day 15 fairly easy. Day 16 throws me a very interesting curveball. It wants me to protect the endangered plants, which are 2 spring beans right at the front of the lawn. This gives me a problem because I'm not really able to put my electric currents in front in order to keep them from being eaten. However, something I am able to do is put a sweet potato on the second to the bottom row in order to pull zombies away from the bottom spring bean. The top spring bean I just need to defend with instant kills. In addition, my sapling slowing zombies down often gives my spring beans enough time to wake up and make themselves useful. We were just able to beat day 16 on the first try, and we'll move on to the next level. Day 17's objective is to defeat 20 zombies in 30 seconds. This is hardly a problem for us because of Ghost Pepper's plant food. I can wait until the last wave, place down a Ghost Pepper, and use plant food on it, and it will pretty much instantly wipe every single zombie that arrives from the last wave. So level 17 is a breeze for us, and now we can move on to day 18. And we're pretty much going to skip over day 18 because it was a pre-picked plants level, so of course I went ahead and beat it with only pea shooters. And now we'll move on to day 19, another sun producing level. Day 19 wants us to
produce at least 1,750 sun, as well as keep zombies off our flower line. Naturally, I forgot to bring a sunflower on my first attempt because I did not read the challenge rules clearly enough, and beyond that, my next few attempts were only difficult because I kept accidentally collecting sun from my one sunflower. Of course, on an attempt or two, I would end up killing all the zombies too early by accident, which means that I had to replay the level from the beginning. The level took me a total of 8 attempts, and my final attempt took a very long time because I had to stall out that final zombie for so long. But now we can move on to day 20, which is another sun producing level, which has all the same problems as day 19. It's only 1,000 sun that we have to produce. So it takes a little bit less time, and of course, I'm expecting the produced sun from my previous challenge since I've played through this world already, and I already know that there are 3 produced sun levels in a row. So with day 20 out of the way, we can move on to day 21, which wants me to produce 2,500 sun. Day 21 was easy, and I actually beat it my first try, but the level took me 20 minutes to get through. I ended up sitting around for a really long time just placing sweet potatoes to make sure that I wouldn't screw up and that the cone head that I was stalling at the end would be around long enough for me to produce 2,500 sun with a single sunflower. And now finally, we're all done with sun producing levels for this world. We can move on to day 22, which is arguably one of the most fun levels in this world. Day 22 is the last stand level. I went ahead and went with my pretty much normal setup. I didn't use saplings this time because I didn't think that they would be very useful, since saplings are usually used for me to stock up on my sun. Although I beat this level first try, it sure was a nail biter down at the end. I won the level with barely any plants left, and there were imps that were just about tickling the lawnmowers with their toes. However, I enjoyed this level so much that I wanted to give it another shot, maybe 5. So I went ahead and tried spamming kiwi beasts, homing thistles, fire pea shooters, peanuts, and an assortment of my premium plants. The kiwi beasts were easily able to destroy all the zombies. I only lost a couple of them, and I completed the level with ease. The homing thistles didn't stand a chance with having so little piercing ability. Their plant food is useful, but it has a limit, and so the homing thistles did really badly. The fire pea shooters were a little bit tense. I could tell they were having some issues as I lost a lawnmower, but I managed to complete the level. The peanuts really struggled. They don't have area control, and once when I used plant food on one of them, it didn't even look like the peanut made a dent in the zombie density because there were so many zombies stacked up on top of it. And surprisingly enough, the random assortment of plants, of course with a little bit of planning, was able to do the best out of any of my setups on this level. Anyways, that concludes level 22. Now we'll move on to day 23. Day 23 has a defeat 8 zombies in 10 seconds objective, as well as a flower line. This level was fairly difficult, and it took me a few attempts. On my first attempt, I forgot about the first objective, and I had to restart. And on my second attempt, my memory failed me, and I forgot which lane the first zombie spawns in. So once again, I had to restart. On my third attempt, I was too slow to set up, and a zombie ate my top electric current. This set me too far back, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to complete the level, so I had to restart. On my fourth and final attempt, I was able to group up a bunch of zombies at the end, and I used one squash to kill a whole clump all at once. Day 24 is another protect the endangered plants level. This gives me some serious problems because it puts spring beans exactly where I would like to put my electric currents. This means I'm not able to protect my spring beans with electric currents, and I have to find some other strategy. After a few attempts, I finally figured out that my kiwi beasts are able to kind of take care of groups of zombies. I just have to make sure that zombies get close enough to my kiwi beasts to start munching on them and set them to their third stage. Once I'm able to do that, I set some sweet potatoes in front of the kiwi beasts, and the level is fairly smooth sailing. And that's all for the Pirate Sea. Stick around if you want to watch the final battle, or if you're a die-hard fan and want to talk about some more serious stuff with me. I'll just jump right into the more serious stuff. I just really wanted to thank everybody for bringing me to 1,000 subscribers. I'm just about to start getting monetized pretty soon, which is really exciting. I don't expect this is going to be a career for me. I've already got my heart set on an automotive technology major at my college. I'm having a lot of fun with that. And honestly, I'm just having a lot of fun with YouTube. I'm glad my subscribers and viewers are really enjoying the content, and it's really motivating to know that this content that I'm working hard on is actually getting out and people are enjoying it. The next thing I kind of want to talk about is just I kind of want people's thoughts in the comments about what content you guys want to see from me. I've been doing some community shorts or some community posts about this sort of thing with questions about, for example, posting YouTube shorts, and if you like my daily polls, what type of videos you like, how long, what form, kind of, and overall just Let me kind of know what you are interested in seeing from my channel. And lastly, for you 5 people who stuck around to the very end, go ahead and type in hashtag GVZ in the comments so that I know that you made it all the way to the end. You'll get a like and a heart from me, and it'll really show me how many people actually are interested in listening to me ramble about non-PVZ stuff, or non-GVZ stuff, I guess in this case. So anyways, that's all. Thank you so much. I'll catch you in the next one.